Hello everyone, Andrew Chubb here from Awalé Resources, TSX-V listed, with the ticker ARIC. We've just released some news on BBM, deeper drilling and some satellite targets, and we're really happy about these results. So we'll talk about those a bit as we go. The usual forward-looking statements. So where are we? We're in the northwest of Côte d'Ivoire. Today we're talking about the BBM target. BBM is something we've spoken about a lot, and we've done a significant amount of drilling on BBM now, over 15,000 meters of drilling, I think, now at BBM. And we also talked quite a lot about our other discoveries, our high-grade discoveries at Charger and Empire as well. And they all sit within a 10-kilometer radius of a central point. And you know, we view the project as a whole, with all these discoveries coming into a central mill one day. And we will have our first resource on the project in Q2 of 2026. So we're about to embark on a lot of drilling with that. And recently we had a release announcing up to 100,000 meters of drilling on the ODNE project. And there'll be lots of news coming out for Awalé as we get into the West African field season. So the rains are subsiding now, and we'll really be ramping up drilling from late October into November. And we hope to have 5 rigs running by December, but we'll definitely have 4 rigs running in early November. So without further ado, let's talk a little about BBM and the results that we've had today. BBM discovery, it's a large footprint. The main drill area that we've been drilling is in this box here, which is a little over a kilometre zone. The 2 holes that we are talking of, the 2 deeper holes, are these 2 white sections that we've announced today, but we've also announced some nice mineralisation along strike from BBM, showing the system's absolutely open along strike. And it does strike down to the southeast into our 100% Awalé Fremen targets down to the southeast, and within the joint venture, this strikes another 10 kilometres towards the north, up towards Lando and our Bobber and Fett targets. So an absolutely fertile structure that's got potential for more discovery along that structure with future drilling. So the announcement today, what was so good about it? The highlight was that we have chased mineralisation down plunge, getting down to 570 meters vertical depth, or a further 400 meters down plunge. So these were big step back holes or big step outs down plunge. I've got a long section to show you in the next slide. The long section comes through from northwest to southeast on the next slide. But you know, 21 meters at 3.3 grams was the higher grade interval within that. That's at a 2 gram per ton trigger. And that's within a broader interval, showing that robust nature of BBM at 54 meters at 1.9 grams per ton gold equivalent. These are 80% discounted values, as we don't have our met results for BBM through yet. And then the deeper hole, we got 38 meters at 1.4 grams per ton gold equivalent. And, you know, that included 12 meters at 2 grams per ton as well. And we'll talk about that hole a little bit more when we flick across to the long section and cross section that I have for you as well. And just on that, those extension or satellite drilling holes, sort of really stepping out along strike rather than stepping back and drilling deeper. You know, we've got some nice intercepts showing sniffs of mineralisation along strike, and showing that there is depth potential underneath these. So this mineralisation is shallow, close to surface mineralisation, and we have seen, as we've drilled deeper in the BBM system, we've seen better grades. So we think there's opportunity for more plunging shoots along strike from the actual BBM discovery here in the middle. So it's really quite exciting stuff still happening at BBM. So we'll have further resource drilling to get towards that first resource in Q2 next year, but also discovery drilling as well. So coming to that long section that I just spoke to you about, if you've seen presentations from Awalé before, you'll have seen this long section before. And so ODNE 152 which had the nice mineralization that we discussed. That 21 meters at 3.3 grams per ton gold equivalent in there. And then the deeper hole, which is a big step down, actually ended up just outside that plunge. So we do believe that those grades will improve if we either stepped along, like do a horizontal fence along, and get that drilling out into that higher grade plunging chute, which has shown consistent higher grade mineralization. And that's what the chart up the top there you're looking at is. And if I could just draw your attention to the gold and copper grades. So these are the actual grades, not the equivalent values, which we have discounted. These are the actual grades. There's consistently high above 3 gram per ton gold grades. And look at these copper grades. I mean, we don't talk about them that much, but there's some quite spectacular copper grades within there at generally around 0.5% or over, and up to 0.85% or 0.84% in hole number 104. So it's a really robust system, and we definitely see these higher grades within that plunging chute, which actually strikes between 200 and 400 meters in that high grade plunging chute. So really robust mineralization. So what we're going to do now is just to show you what things look like. We've got a cross section which comes down through this hole number 152, a cross section through hole number 153, and then we've got a cross section that tracks down through that RC3 drill fence, which consists of half a dozen shallow RC holes as a initial step out from the BBM the main BBM mineralization. So that cross section 152, as I was talking about, this is the one that's got 21 meters at 3.3 gold equivalent, and and the gold grades within that zone of plus 3 grams, and the high grade copper within there as well. So it looks like the rest of our BBM. It's most of the mineralization is hosted within the intrusive rocks, and the higher grades sit closer to that footwall contact with volcano sedimentary and sedimentary rocks in the footwall. We see high strain, consistent mineralization, pyrite, chalcopyrite is the dominant sulfide species. And really, there's not much else to tell you from that. But so that first hole's at a 460 meter vertical depth. The initial drilling that we did, as we've discussed before, we restricted to a roughly 300 meter vertical depth, which was a conceptual open pit. And now where we've seen that higher grade mineralization within that 50 odd degree plunging chute, we've stepped out and tried to hit some deeper mineralization, and are really happy what we've seen from just 2 holes, and showing the underground potential, or a potential underground target developing at BBM as well, which can significantly increase volumes and ounces, of course, at a target like this when we finally get round to putting out some resources. This is coming into that cross section through hole number 152, which is the deeper one. You can see on the left here, this 570 meters vertical depth. I've included all the grades in here, just so we can talk about the robust nature of the mineralization that we've got, and again, discussing these higher copper grades. So in that 21 meters at 3.3 grams gold equivalent, it's 3.2 grams gold and 0.68% copper, so nearly 0.7% copper there. And if you increase that trigger value to 3 grams per ton, we actually get up over 3.6 grams per ton. So these are the sort of grades that we think show that BBM has underground potential, and it's really exciting stuff for the ODNE project, and the resources that we plan to be putting out next year. And being able to extend those resources underground is really exciting for us. Now, next slide we've got is drill section RC3, which I showed you. This is sitting in here. When we in a diamond step out hole, we got some nice mineralization out there, and this RC hole 155 is actually above that. And this could be pointing towards a second plunging chute further towards the northwest. So there is a paucity of drilling out to the northwest here. The alteration and mineralization that we see in fences RC3, particularly RC3 and RC4, is what we see as distal alteration, quite significant amounts of hematite alteration when we're distal at BBM, very red rocks. And so we really are looking at the potential for other plunging chutes that are potentially sitting just below these RC drilling depths, and really possibly just starting to show themselves in this whole DD93. So this is really exciting stuff for us. We're about to embark on a 100,000 meter or planned 100,000 meter drill program, which includes drilling within the joint venture as well as drilling on the 100% Awalé targets. We're looking forward to putting our first resources in Q2 next year, and we're looking towards making more discoveries on the project as well. We've really shown that we're on a large mineralized system, and the opportunity for more discoveries in this district and within the permits that we have pegged as a company are really, we think, very high, and we're really excited for what's coming down the pipe in 2026. So I've gone for a bit longer than 10 minutes, which is usually what I aim for, but we really are excited about what's coming, and I really look forward to keeping the market updated on Awalé's progress over the rest of 2025 and into 2026.